Alright, hello and welcome to another benchmark video of the 5070 Ti. This time we are on Battlefront 2 and we're gonna start off at the low preset to showcase the graphical quality and the FPS. Now I want to say that this game was made on the Frostbite engine. As a result, the game is very optimized and it looks really good. As you can see, like for example, even though we're on low settings and we're getting really good FPS, 200 locked, 150 1% lows, the shadows look sharp, the textures, there is noticeable texture pop in as I walk closer to these like structures. You can see the textures popping in. However, other than that, the game looks pretty good. And if you are on something lower than the 5070 Ti, let's say you're on the 60 series graphics, maybe you are on an older generation of graphics cards, then the low settings look pretty good, I would say, and you get really good FPS on it. With that being said, let's transition over to the medium preset. And this is where we start seeing the textures look a bit sharper. There's a little bit less pop-in, although there is still some pop-in, but it's lesser aggressive. It's not as aggressive. And we just died there. Let me see if I can respawn. Let's respawn as C. And our 1% lows are still hovering around 150, 140, but our average FPS is basically locked at 200. I think it's not going above 200 because it's locked. But there's the texture pop-in is much less noticeable, and the shadows and the texture quality looks much sharper. But there's again not much perceivable difference between low and medium. We're gonna get a couple kills here. Or die. And as we respawn, I'm gonna transition over to the high preset. And this is where you see that the gameplay becomes basically seamless. There's almost no texture pop in, and the textures and the shadows look very sharp, and that adds to the immersion when you're playing the game. The battles feel more intense when the shadows are sharper. The lighting effects, the lighting quality looks way better. So if you're in the 5070 Ti, you can play on the high preset. And now we're gonna go over to the ultra preset, which is also really well handled by 5070 Ti. We are dropping some frames when we die here. Let me respawn. However, once we respawn back in, we can see that we are still locked at an average of 200 FPS. Our 1% lows have dropped down just a little bit to about 130. Let me reset the 1% counter. So the 1% is about around 140, 130. But the game looks significantly better, I would say. Well, actually not significantly better, but noticeably better. Let's see what the explosion does to our 1%. Oh, nothing. It's still at 140. But at Ultra, there's almost no texture pop in, and The surface looks much more detailed. The shadows also look much more detailed, which I think adds to the experience of the game. You feel much more immersed, and it's much more enjoyable to look at pretty graphics. It's not always about the FPS, it's also about the graphics. It's also about how it looks. And 5070 Ti is performing really well, as you know, you would expect. It's an older game. 5070 Ti is a very powerful card, and if you are playing on a lower generation of card, or maybe a lower tier of card like the 60 series, then you can experiment around with the settings. I would recommend turning down post-processing to see if that works to get you to 60 FPS. And as I finish my benchmark, I'm gonna continue the gameplay on ultra settings in the background, so you guys can get a sense of what the gameplay looks like and what the FPS looks like. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, that helps me out. Subscribe. Comment down below what game you would like me to benchmark next on my 5070 Ti. And I'll catch you in the next one.
General Grievous is here.
The Republic is taking control of Command Post Dorn. Uh-oh, a new enemy has landed. Our forces have lost Command Post F.
Bosk has come to hunt the clones. General Grievous is here to aid us. A Sith Lord has joined us. Maul is here. Bosk has come to hunt the clones.
The Republic has begun to capture Command Post F.